Now, usually, when you all see me on an AIPAC stage, I'm here to talk about campaigns and politics. Many of you probably know I'm a political strategist. I helped elect Bill Clinton president. I've been, for all my life, y'all remember Bill Clinton, pretty good president, thank you. And all my life, I've been an outspoken advocate for progressive causes. What you may not know is that I'm also a lifelong supporter of Israel and of AIPAC. Now, maybe lifelong is too strong, but it's pretty close. See, I grew up in Missouri City, Texas. Where are my fellow Texans here? There we go. Now, best as I can recall, in Missouri City, when I was a kid in my high school, there were two, there were two Jews, the Levine twins. That's it. Then I went to the University of Texas at Austin. I became active there in campus politics, and I soon became friends with another campus politico, a guy named Greg Goldstein. He was from Houston, and Greg had interned for AIPAC. He and I had endless bull sessions back then, as students will do, talk about everything under the sun. And I was struck by Greg's perspective. It's very different from mine, broader, to be sure. He's a deeply empathetic guy, very much his brother and his sister's keeper, and a progressive Democrat who strongly supported Israel. And I thought, there's something to that. So from Greg, I learned about Israel, about the importance of the U.S.-Israel relationship, and about AIPAC, and those lessons never left me. From long ago on those campus talks to every single campaign I ever worked on, lay leaders involved with AIPAC were there. And I want to thank you. Many of them are in this room. Now, it should go without saying that I have never worked for someone who's anti-Israel, and I never will. Ever. How could I and still be true to my progressive values? Right? There are not very many places in the Middle East. There are not very many places in the Middle East where LGBTQ rights and voting rights are protected. They are in Israel. There are not many places in the Middle East where Americans are seen as friends, allies, even family. We are in Israel. There are not very many places in the Middle East where protecting the air, the land, the water are national priorities. They are in Israel. So all the values I hold dear, all the progressive values, freedom, pluralism, democracy, equality, those are Israel's values too. So, sure, we have disagreements, all families do. As my Uncle George likes to say, you know why God gave us family? So we wouldn't have to fight with strangers. And so, of course, sometimes I get frustrated with Israeli politicians. I also get frustrated with American politicians. And believe me, it's nothing compared to my frustration sometimes with some of these folks here in Washington. Let's just say there are days lately when I wonder if a Catholic boy from Texas can make Aliyah. So since those long ago conversations with Greg Goldstein, I've been to Israel many, many times. I worked there in 2015 for Bougie Herzog, who I saw backstage a moment ago. And while I was there, I got desperately ill. I had to have emergency surgery. Bougie got me into the finest doctors in Israel, in Ichilov Medical Center. They saved my life. Pro tip, if you have to have emergency surgery in a foreign country, and I've worked on 5 continents, pick Israel. Israeli socialized medicine saved my life. So thank you, Israel. So I've traveled to Israel as a working political consultant, as a religious pilgrim, as a husband and a father who brought his whole family. In the Catholic Church, we call it the mishpucha. We brought the whole family of 6 to Israel this Christmas. But my very first trip was with AIPAC. And 90 days from now, I will make another trip with AIPAC to Israel. And I can't wait. Robert F. Kennedy, who was a strong supporter of Israel, spoke of individual acts of courage. He called them ripples of hope that extend across the world. So each time you stand for a strong U.S.-Israel relationship, you're sending out a ripple of hope. perhaps through your visit with a senator, perhaps a donation, perhaps sponsoring an intern for a college kid from Houston who then went back to his campus and sent out even more ripples to his classmates and friends. Ripples that echo far beyond even the duration of his life. So I want to thank AIPAC for giving my friend Greg Goldstein that internship all those years ago. He left us too soon. He is now of blessed memory. But that spark he struck in me burns brightly, and it burns for freedom, for democracy, for equality. It burns for our best friend in the world's worst neighborhood. It burns for Israel. Thank you, and God bless you.